Alright, into game number 3 of Crs Academy versus One Trick Ponies. On the blue team we have Crs Academy with Crs Pobelt on Karthus. Sona is played by MRN AtomicN. Shen picked up by GetRhuxD. Varus playing by Crs Altec. And Xin Zhao played by Crs IWDominate. On the purple team we have Xin played by InnoX. Nasus played by ScubaChris. Syndra played by nubbypoohbear. Tristana played by Flappy Bearfish. And Janna with one on Z. Interesting team comps here, but I'm liking what I see out of both of them. Crs has gone for a bit more of a split push than normally played, as Shen will be able to split push incredibly effectively. And there's a lot of disengage on the Crs Academy side with the Crescendo, with the Varus ultimate, with Xin Zhao's ultimate, and even the Wall of Pain coming out from Karthus. They can just let Shen split push and then come into the fights whenever they need to with the global ultimate of Shen and the global ultimate of Karthus. While on the One Trick Pony side, they have disengaged themselves with both Tristana and Janna, and a bit in Syndra as well. So it's going to be hard. Well, actually, basically everyone on One Trick Ponies can disengage, as Wither and Xin ultimate, along with Syndra, Tristana, and Janna, can all disengage, but they don't have a good way to really start a fight outside of Xin jumping in there, and that's not something you want to see. But I do think it's anyone's game here. The only difference in the teams is Crs has a little bit more initiation than One Trick Ponies, while One Trick Ponies has a lot of disengage and a lot of poke. And if this goes late, Tristana could easily carry this, as she has a lot of protection for herself, and she's going to get a lot of extra attack damage along with that ridiculous range and attack speed. She practically maxes out on attack speed with just a rapid fire and the Phantom Dancer. So it's going to be an interesting game, and it's going to be really interesting to see how Crs can actually engage these fights, unless they just don't want to engage the fights. Looks like we have a bit of a bug here. Apologies, as I'm not sure exactly what's going on with the stream. This is a problem with the stream and not my stream. It's a problem with the Riot stream, which I am restreaming off of. Just a reminder, this is the IPL Summer Promotion qualifying series. These teams will have a chance to enter the tournament that allows them to go to the LCS if they win, and can knock out some of the current LCS teams. Both teams packing a lot of ignites, as we see 3 up on side of Crs Academy, while we have 3 up on this side of One Trick Pony. Surprised we don't have that exhaust going, as it's usually a fairly powerful tool that players like to have. But instead, we're not going to see it. We're just going to have both teams running a bunch of ignites, everyone wanting to get kills, but I don't think it's going to be very easy, as both teams can just disengage so incredibly well. Looks like we are going to have a bit of invade here by Crs Academy, but it is spotted out. Nasus is in the area to see it, Tristana in the area to see it as well. And it looks like we are going to get a fairly deep ward placed by Crs Academy. Well, it looks like we are going to have One Trick Ponies rotating around, and they will get a nice hit on there as we see an engagement. Shank with a nice taunt, and it looks like we will have ScubaChris going down for the first blood. Shen very low. Tristana picking up another kill, and Tristana is able to pick up Karthus as well. Tristana with a double kill. She is able to flash away. Sona takes down for 3 kills already, and Karthus goes down as Janna goes down as well. 5 kills total. 2 for Crs Academy, 3 for One Trick Ponies. And with that, we get one of the most interesting level 1s in a long time, with a lot of action all around the field. Karthus going for the early tier of the goddess, an interesting choice. He did pick up First Blood, which allowed him to get very close to that tier. If he'd gotten a little bit more gold, he might have been able to pick that up at the get-go. The problem for CRS Academy is look who those kills went to. 2 of them for Tristana, 1 of them for Janna, and Janna's going for an AP build. Good luck trying to engage into this team, CRS Academy. One Trick Ponies has a massively powerful disengage / kite comp, so have fun with that. Looks like Shen will be up top, and he should be in pretty good shape. He has the cloth armor and potions ready. Lee Sin with just potions, I don't blame him for that. He's going to take a lot of harassment from both Varus and Sona, as both of them have a fair amount of harassment potential. It looks like we are going to have Shen zoned out as well. He's able to pick up at least 1 minion with his Vorpal Blades. The problem is Tristana is up a Doran's Blade already, and that means even more damage and an even faster tower for One Trick Ponies. So let's see how they use this advantage. And it looks like they're going for an all-out push up top. I don't think there's any stopping them. And with Xin Zhao not even close to the lane, he looks like he wants to rotate into the mid lane. It is not going to be stopped anytime soon. It wouldn't surprise me if Tristana foregoes extra points in explosive shot, just keeps at level 1, then grabs up more points in that rapid fire, so she can deal more damage to turrets and go for a bit more pushing. She's able to do a lot of damage to this turret. Shen able to actually grab some minions though, which is the big thing. Lee Sin able to grab some as well, as there was a nice taunt there by Shen, but Janna will take all the damage. It doesn't go on Tristana, and I don't think Janna cares too much, as she does have some extra potions, and Tristana will be able to finish off that wave, doing a lot of damage to Rux in the process. As Shen just takes a lot of damage, he misses his taunt up top, and he is just getting pelted. All those potions are not that effective when Tristana puts her explosive shot on you. Xin Zhao has decided to rotate up top, a wise decision, as he's going to need it. Syndra applying some good harassment to Karthus, but Karthus has a few extra potions and a little bit more mana, so he can continue to spam out those lay waste. It looks like Lee Sin is able to do a good bit of damage here to Varus, as he's fairly well protected with that safeguard and the attack speed slow coming out of Cripple. Both junglers are just kind of rotating around. They aren't able to get anything really done in this early games. They've been protecting those 2v1 lanes and ensuring that the one does not get absolutely slaughtered. The problem is they're really far behind in farm, and they could have easily grabbed a few extra creep camps and possibly been in a better position themselves. Looks like Nasus is going to come back down bottom and continue to protect this tower, as Shen is getting very low on potions. Every single time he tries to walk up for a CS, Tristana can just throw those explosive shots out and prevent him from healing fully, as it takes every single explosive shot takes about a quarter of a potion. Or no, it's a third of a potion away. Looks like we do have Janna getting fairly low. She does take the tower down. She is fairly low, but she does get the knock up. And we are going to have Shen in very bad shape. Tristana out of mana, but it doesn't matter, as she gets the auto attacks and the kill. This Tristana is going to be absolutely ridiculous, and I like that from Tristana. Tristana is one of my personal favorite champions, just due to her versatility, as we do see an engagement down bottom. Xin Zhao taking a lot of damage, but so is Lee Sin. Lee Sin out of potions, burned through every single one of them already. And with that, Tristana and Janna are going to have to rotate down bottom quickly. And this Tristana is sitting at 301, 46 minions, highest in the game. It's going to be an absolute monster, and I'm glad to see it. She's one of my favorite champions. She just brings so much to the table. She can protect herself. She has some of the highest damage in the game, and her long range means she doesn't have to worry about anything. It's going to be hard for Crs to deal with her. Nasus with a nice wither down bottom. but still unable to make anything happen, as this tower remains barely alive. Next minion wave will finish it off, as we do see Karthus taking a good bit of damage from Syndra, as they stay fairly even in the mid lane, sitting in the mid 40s apiece. Looks like Janna has come down bottom, finished off that Kage's lucky pick. And as soon as Tristana is here, she'll be able to push back very quickly with those explosive shots. She's not going to be under any pressure down here, at least until Varus goes back and picks up his next set of items. Karthus going very mana heavy with both Rod of Ages and Tear of the Goddess. I'm kind of surprised he picks up both, as though usually you want one or the other. You don't really need both, especially if you're being funneled blue buff. If he expects not to get that many blue buffs, it's an okay build. But if you expect to get blue buffs, it's very different. It's the best way I could put it. As most of them like to pick up other items like that early death cap. Tristana doing a lot of damage to his bottom tower, as Jen is able to just weaken all these minions where they take 1 to 2 shots from Tristana, and then an explosive shot just kind of clears the ranks. Excellent play here by Trick Ponies, and throughout all this they managed to steer themselves about a 2,000 gold lead. As Sona's taken fairly low, Tristana could probably jump and kill her, but she could hit 6 at any point. Tristana does get that explosive shot off, meaning Sona is out of luck in terms of healing. She's not going to be very effective. Xin versus Shen up top, and I think that's what they were kind of waiting on, is them to go deep, then have the Shen ultimate come in. But Xin's doing a good job of applying pressure to Shen. Xin going for double Duran's Blades, looking to really win this laning phase. But so far, this laning phase is dominated by Trick Ponies and this Tristana. After a very well-played level 1 fight, it looks like 2 turrets have been taken for the price of none on the side of CRS Academy. Nasus is going to be soloing up Dragon, as he can do that with his ultimate. Gold comes out here with Tristana sitting at just about 4,000 gold, doubling up most people on the map with the exception of Karthus. It is getting pretty crazy how far ahead she is, and this is Trick Pony's game to lose at this point. Tristana is going to be slightly better than Varus late game, and she's getting big fast, and she's not going to have that down point in the middle game where Tristana's usually kind of fall off, considering how far ahead she's gotten. Syndra's also in good shape, sitting down about 600 gold, as you see her doing some good damage to Karthus and just trying to prevent Karthus from staying in that mid lane. Shen getting a bit of harassment by Xin. Xin wanted to keep him pushed, so if Shen uses his teleport, he's gonna lose a tower for it. That's what you have to do on a character like Xin or Rivet or some of these other characters where you want to dominate early, is you apply pressure. Looks like we do have the Shen ultimate come in, but Tristana is able to jump back and flash away. Beautifully played. Nice ultimate by Shen. Hits 2. And we see Syndra going down for the first kill. Tristana getting fairly low. Janna taken out as well. 2 kills for the price of 1. Both supports going down. Karthus ultimate going to fly, but it will not be enough to kill Tristana. She is just a little too strong. She will be able to jump across, but no. Xin Zhao gets there just in time. Shuts her down. And it looks like we are going to have Nasus in a lot of trouble. CRS Academy coming out big, going 3 for 1. But they lose a tower up top as Xin continues to split push. Sona needs to get over there and at least apply some pressure. Nasus is going to throw out a Spirit Fire and stop Shen, as Xin is going to be able to do some damage to this inhibitor turret. But Sona wisely turning over there and is going to be able to stop his push. Nasus in a bit of trouble as Varus and Karthus run across. Varus doing a good bit of damage, but just not able to finish anything off. Looks like Syndra is in the area. Will she land the stun? No, she will not. But Janna Torto just out of range. Nasus is going to have a Wither up in just a few moments, as we do see Syndra getting some good damage. When will that Wither come out? Looks like there's the Wither, but Nasus is in a lot of trouble and they will be forced back. Shen has picked up the Doran's shield, as we do see Karthus is going for the heavy mana build with both Tear and Catalyst. Sona picking up that Philosopher's Stone, as Janna has gone for a bit more of an AP build. Tristana about to finish up that Infinity Edge, as Varus is going for the Bloodthirster. Looks like we're going to have a lock the iron Solari up on Xin Zhao in just a moment. As Lu Xin's gone for the double Duran's early game dominance build. Nasus is going to be picking up the lock of the iron Solari very soon as well. Looks like we do have the Chalice and Haunting Guys picked up by Syndra. And both teams are going to be just kind of sitting around for a moment, waiting for the next objective to come up. 3,500 gold lead in favor of Trick Ponies, as they've really snowballed that early game kill onto Tristana, and it's helped out the rest of their team as they've been able to farm very well. Even though the farm is fairly even on both sides, Tristana down a little bit, Syndra up a fair bit, and the top laners both about even. Junglers are slightly in favor of Xin Zhao. It's been the turrets that's really been the story of this game. Four turrets taken down on the Crs Academy side. None lost by Trick Ponies. Trick Ponies with those 4 turret kills. Really using that advantage. They've taken the first dragon, which should respawn and within the next minute or so. Shen looks like he's going to go for a Sunfire Cape, stacking all armor, which is not a bad decision, but he will have a fair bit of magic damage as Nasus, Janna, and Syndra all apply fairly heavy magic damage. Especially because Nasus' ult is magic damage, and it just does a lot of damage if you can just kind of sit there around the enemy team. Looks like Xin Zhao is going to be in a bit of trouble here as Nasus throws out that Wither and Spirit Fire. Not sure it's really worth it though, considering Nasus' mana pool. But it's at least a show of confidence. We send in a little bit of trouble as the enemy team closes around him. Blue buff has respawned, and they do see Lee Sin. He will not be able to just jump away. He does safeguard right across. He does get caught as Karthus is kicked over the wall, but Lee Sin taken out, giving Crs Academy the lead in kills, and brings Karthus right over to his blue buff. Not a good exchange there. Dragon should be respawning fairly soon, which will be Trick Ponies' chance to extend their lead, as we do see a lot of pink wards invested down there, as it looks like we are going to have Crs Academy with a push towards the middle lane. And there's not a whole lot stopping them at this point. They're up a man until Nasus comes in from the side, and it looks like he will get there for Wither. No, he doesn't. They decide to back up, secure their blue buff, and just wait it out and take a dragon fight in a few moments. I'm not sure Crs Academy knows exactly when dragon's going on, but they're going to have an idea, or they're going to lose out on it. Tristana has finished up that Infinity Edge, looking for some big damage in these fights. First tower of the game for Crs Academy has been taken down in the bottom lane, as Syndra was just not there in time. Looks like we are going to have dragon being started. Shen could come in at any moment with his ultimate, but dragon will be taken down before the fight begins. Tristana with a nice knockback. Tristana in a lot of trouble though. She does flash away. Janna a little early on that ultimate. It could have been very valuable, but Tristana able to escape with that rocket jump. Nasus in a lot of trouble, will go down as Janna does flash over the wall. Lee Sin taken down as well. Crs Academy trading fairly evenly as 2 kills for dragon is about even, but they're going to be able to push this mid lane and secure a big win as they're making a nice comeback. Trick Ponies just not team fighting as well, and not having a comp that really wants to team fight. They want to kind of scrimmage until Tristana gets so far she can one-shot versus everyone. Looks like we're going to have Xin Zhao jumping in there, but he is knocked back by Syndra. And with that, they're just going to be able to take this tower. 2 towers to 4 in favor of Trick Ponies. 8 kills to 5 in favor of Crs Academy, as it's a 1,500 gold lead for Trick Ponies off the back of 2 dragons to none. And about even farm throughout the map. And it is really going to be who can get a good fight in late game, as it's anyone's game at this point. Crs Academy has done an excellent job of using their team fight advantage to make a comeback, where they were once down a little over 3,000 gold. It has come to about 1,500, and it's going to be less as soon as Varus picks up that massive minion wave at the bottom. Looks like Janna is opted for an early Oracles. I'm surprised she got it this early over some other items that actually help her in combat. Even just an additional ruby crystal would be massive at this point to help stay alive, and she is going to be very vulnerable in these team fights. Xin has created a big snowball wave up top, which means Trick Ponies want to push something down bottom. Because whenever you create that big snowball wave, you want to have an objective to take somewhere else on the map. Be that mid. It looks like Karthus does get stunned as Syndra throws out a big bolt. And it looks like she will have her ultimate available in just a second. Looking for one more if she does throw it out, but Karthus does stay away as Nasus gets hit by the Varus ultimate. He will actually go down as the arrow finishes him off from long range. Karthus does throw out his ultimate, which would have secured that as well. Excellent play there by Varus, as he does take second place in CS to Syndra. Syndra sitting at 147 minions, Varus at 146. Tristana sitting at 120 with Karthus at 124. Top laners are tied at 97 with Xin Zhao up 30 minions on Nasus at this point. And it's really been a struggle for these top laners to find some farm. Though Xin's in a lot of trouble, Xin Zhao is applying a lot of pressure to him. Though Xin has been able to get some good damage in, he misses his Q, and with that the fight ends, and Xin's able to just lifesteal it back. But with that cripple, Xin Zhao really wants to fight this. Nasus is going to come up here and be a big threat to Xin Zhao. He doesn't have Ghost, so they're not going to be able to pursue. But when the jungler is able to fight fairly evenly with your top lane, that's a bad sign. Because you really expect the jungler to be significantly behind the top laner. Both teams are just continuing to farm it out, as I expect this to go fairly late, considering how even the game is and how both of these teams want it to go late. Karthus is an amazing late game champion, Tristana is amazing late, Syndra's amazing late, Varus is amazing late. The only champions that aren't really amazing late are Xin, and that's about it. Sona falls off a bit, but Crescendo is always good. Xin Zhao falls off a little bit, as he's just not as good, but he's still very powerful. And it's really going to be who can get a good fight off, as so far it's been CRS Academy getting better fights, and Xin Zhao is actually dueling Xin fairly evenly at this point. And Xin's going to be in trouble. He needs to pick up a next big item. He should be fairly close to that BF sword, or at least the Brutalizer, as I think that'd be an excellent pickup at this point, just to help Tristana get even more damage in there. And Xin Zhao does a lot of damage to Xin, getting the knockup, and Xin Zhao just backs away as soon as he burns his cooldowns. He's going to have him up very soon, as I expect Blue Buff to be the next big fight, as it has respawned on the side of Trick Ponies. But we are going to have them just continue to push the mid lane. Xin getting a lot more lifesteal than Xin Zhao though, so he's in a better spot. As Xin does land the Resonating Strike, and he will get the kick. But there's Shen coming in as Xin Zhao does try and get in there. Xin does flash away. Interesting decision to jump in there by Xin Zhao, but that's Shen ultimate down. And Xin can deal with Shen a little bit better than Xin Zhao, just due to the fact Xin Zhao has lifesteal and a bit more damage than Shen. Shen does not have much in terms of damage other than the Sunfire Cape and a few Vorpal Blades. But at least they can easily heal that up with a Safeguard and Iron Will. Looks like Varus is going to rotate up top, and CRS Academy is going to go for that push up top, finishing off the outer towers. As Sona has picked up an Oracle's Elixir with very little health on top of it. Kind of surprised these supports are picking up such early Oracle's Elixirs, not letting the junglers grab them. As I guess the junglers need to get as tanky as they can, but it just hasn't worked out that way. Dragon has respawned, as Xin Zhao does jump onto Nasus. Nasus does get a Wither off and lays the Spirit Fire along with a Siphoning Strike or two. And here comes Tristana for some good damage, but no crits, so Xin Zhao is perfectly safe. Looks like with Dragon up, we aren't going to actually see a fight, as CRS Academy was ready for it, and their entire team is there. So we're going to have Dragon down for free, evening up the game. Beautiful ultimate as Nasus is in a lot of trouble. Janna ultimate saves him. Nasus is going to continue to jump in the back. Syndra doing a lot of damage as we do see the first kill taken by Tristana, but Karthus dead. Means that we're going to see the ultimate come out. It's not going to be a kill. 2 for 1 in favor of one Trick Ponies. But with Dragon taken, the total gold goes in favor of Crs Academy, evening it out at 32.5. This game could go either way at this point. Karthus got a good death there, allowing him to be in the middle of the enemy team for some real massive damage. And they just kind of got caught off guard. The one Trick Pony side did. But they managed to disengage fairly well, got all their burst off just in time, and managed to take the 2 kills, meaning they didn't lose too much for that dragon, even though I'm sure they would have loved to contest it. Score is 11-7 in favor of Crs Academy, while towers are 2-4 in favor of one Trick Ponies. Both teams very even at this point. It's going to come down to who can actually get a good engagement off. So far it's been Crs Academy finding slightly better engagements outside of that level 1 fight. But that hasn't meant a whole lot, as objectives have been taken by whichever team lost more players. So they've been fairly even overall. And it looks like Xin is going for something kind of different with that Blade of the Rune King, not going into the BF sword route, which I thought he would, but instead Blade of the Rune King. And it looks like we are going to have Nasus caught out just a little bit. Tristana is going to be here, same with Janna, and that fight ends rather quickly as soon as the Janna tornado and Tristana are spotted. Shen ultimate is back up, so he's going to be able to split push down bottom to his heart's content. And there's not going to be a whole lot stopping him. Xin's the only real option. And now with that Blade of the Rune King, he will have the ability to do so. As it looks like we are going to have the rest of the Crs Academy team pushing up mid and looking for a fight while Shen split pushes. Shen is a little stronger than Xin at this point, just due to the fact he's super tanky and virtually unkillable. While Xin has gone for basically pure damage. I'm surprised he didn't go pick up at least a 1 tank item so he can actually get into these fights, instead of being kind of an assassin almost, as he really needs that survivability, which I think he'll build soon. But Syndra gets a nice stun on Karthus and able to do some good damage, as Karthus is getting fairly low, but she used her stun so she won't have it up again for another few moments, and Karthus will be able to escape scotch-free. Looks like Xin and Shen are going to be fighting it out down bottom, with Shen getting the better of the engagement, thanks to his shield being a little stronger than Xin's at this point. Syndra has picked up Anathane's Unholy Grail, as it looks like a DFG might be the choice for Syndra. Or it could just be a death cap and a casual amplifying tome. But we shall see as things progress. Shen with Sunfire Cape building into Randuin's Omen. Xin Zhao with Lock the Artillery building into likely a Sunfire Cape or Randuin's Omen. Karthus going for that death cap for Zhonya's next. Varus picking up the Last Whisper in addition to the Bloodthirster and Zeal. Sona has completed the standard support items with the Sight Stone and Philosopher's Stone in addition to boots, likely going to be picking up an Aegis next. Xin finishing off the Blade of the Rune King Brutalizer, as Tristana's caught up top, but she does decide to disengage with that rocket jump, making it very hard to catch her. Same thing with her ultimate. It's virtually impossible as Xin and Shen continue to duel down bottom, with Shen getting the better of Xin just slightly, but Xin's able to lifesteal, and that's the big difference. Is he can pop his safeguard. It looks like Xin is in a lot of trouble though, as he is forced to kick. Nasus is going to come up top as he is spotted out, and I almost think Xin needs to pick up some armor at this point, but I'm not sure. He's not able to duel Shen, and they really need Xin to be able to duel him. It looks like he's going for lifesteal. Pure damage. Going to counter Shen's tankiness with damage. And it's not a bad route. It's just not the route most people take. as it looks like Tristana is going to continue to farm up top, as the top farmers are in that 130 to upper 120 mark. Tristana and Karthus right behind Varus and Syndra, as the junglers continue to stay relatively even at about 180 at this point. Looks like Karthus has finished off the death cap, so he is in great shape along with that Rod of Ages. He is going to be a real monster in these team fights, and it's going to be hard to actually deal with him, as he is pretty massive at this point. Warden's Mail picked up by Shen, which means Xin is in a lot of trouble. That attack speed slow is going to really hurt, and it's going to really make Xin not that effective against Shen. In addition to the fact he has his second armor item, he almost needs a Last Whisper at this point. Tristana has picked up hers. In addition to that, Zeal Dragon has respawned, and it will be taken for free by CRS Academy. No engagement here. Kind of surprised One Trick Ponies didn't at least engage it or try and force something. But instead, they're going to say, hey, we're going to let Tristana and Syndra get to late game. Zhonya's Hourglass picked up by Syndra. As I'm kind of surprised she hasn't gone for more ability power. Just to get that burst going, finish someone off, and then kind of worry about your own safety. Because they can finish off someone like Karthus outside the fight, or Varus outside the fight. These fights will be an easy win for the One Trick Pony side. But instead, we're going to see you go for survivability, and they're going to play the long fight game, as Tristana is going for that Bloodthirster next. She's going to go pure offense is my guess. Same with Varus, as he decided to finish off his Phantom Dancer, not going for the Infinity Edge just yet, as that'll likely be next on the table. As we do have the CRS Academy side clearing out Baron. Relatively slow paced game so far, with CRS Academy up very slightly in terms of gold. And Lisa and Shen are going to continue to do duel down bottom. So far it's been in favor of Shen, and I think it's going to continue that way for a long time, as Lisa is actually getting a slight advantage here due to the fact he's lifestealing so much with every auto attack, getting 100 plus on every creep he hits. And while he doesn't get a lot on Shen, they're dueling around minions the entire time. Lisa losing that engagement just a little bit right now. But as I said, he's able to lifesteal enough that Shen is not going to be a problem. So they found a way to deal with a split push of Shen. Shen will only get the shield, as Lee Sin's likely going to have to save his ultimate to get in there. Lee Sin does actually get the safeguard away, but Shen with a taunt means that Shen is going to win that engagement. And Lee Sin's in a lot of trouble. He's still not able to duel Shen. He was keeping okay, and it looks like we are going to have a 3-man Baron without the jungler, and that's CRS Academy sneaking that Baron in. Excellent decision there. They cleared the wars with Sona's Oracles a few moments ago. And with that, it's going to be really hard for One Trick Ponies to engage anytime soon. This means that CRS Academy can steal all the objectives they want and really snowball a tower or two if they can. I expect them to rotate up top and take those 2 towers fairly easily, as they are very vulnerable at this point, especially the outer tower. It's basically free gold. Syndra looks to engage the mid lane, and Sona is taken out. Xin Zhao in a lot of trouble, but he does get a nice knockback, but I don't think it's going to matter too much, as Nasus has his Wither. Shen with the ultimate does come into this fight, but Xin Zhao is knocked all around. Karthus ultimate does fly and does a lot of damage onto Tristana as she does go down, but Varus is lost, and a 3-man death by CRS Academy means One Trick Ponies wins that engagement, but they do lose a tower for it, and Karthus is going to be able to rotate around and recall back. And with that, it's not a bad fight for CRS Academy. They actually gain gold off of it. Not significant amount, but a few hundred, give or take, just due to the fact they picked up the tower. And they were able to kill Tristana and take her off the map. And with taking Tristana off the map, it's a big win, because she's the big hope late game for One Trick Ponies. They're almost going to need to have her pick up a Zhonya's Hourglass late game, just so she doesn't get hit with his Karthus ultimate, as that took down most of her health. And Karthus is only getting bigger. He'll have his Void Staff up in just a moment. Then he'll be able to finish off that Archangel Staff into Seraphim's Embrace, so he'll be ridiculously fed. Lee Sin still trying to fight Shen down bottom, but has no luck of actually taking him down. And without minions there to lifesteal off of, Shen has no real hope. Or, no, excuse me, Lee Sin has no real hope of dealing with Shen. Looks like we have Blade of the Rune King up on Varus as his next big item. Kind of surprised that he's going that route instead of something like an Infinity Edge for big damage. But I guess he wants to just kind of stay alive in these fights, and I don't blame him for it. The score is 12-10 in favor of CRS Academy. Towers are 3-4 in favor of One Trick Ponies. Gold is up about 1,500 to 2,000, depending upon how the creep waves are pushing, in favor of CRS Academy, as it is very even all around. Lee Sin has finished off that Black Cleaver, but it's not going to be useful against Shen. He needed to go Last Whisper if he's going to just sit there back there and split push. Lots of damage taken there by Varus, as Leandry's Torment has been finished up by Syndra. Phantom Dancer up on Tristana, and Karthus really felt that crit as he lost a lot of health. Wall has been placed, but the knockback by Syndra will kind of scare them away. Lee Sin is able to actually duel Shen a bit better now, but Shen gets that taunt, and with that taunt, that means he's in great shape. But Lee Sin's actually winning this fight, though not significantly so, as Karthus ultimate and Shen ultimate can come out at any point and turn it around. But Lee Sin's going to be able to lifesteal back up to full very quickly. Big minion wave pushing it up top for One Trick Ponies, as we do see a slight engagement here. Nasus caught out there by the Tendrils, but it looks like we are going to have Shen coming there, and Karthus is going to be taken out. Lee Sin not actually able to get down there, but we do have Syndra getting taken very low. Karthus ultimate does fly. Janna taken out 1 for 1 so far. Oh, excuse me, 1 for 2, as Nasus fell early in that fight. As that's a pretty big win for CRS Academy. But, as I said, the gold doesn't show it, as the gold was basically even after that engagement. Still, 2,000 gold difference, nothing at this point. And it's going to be back to basically even, as Dragon will be taken. And with that, 1,000 gold difference, near zero difference really, as CRS Academy and One Trick Ponies duel out here in the IPL Summer Promotional Qualifying Series. This will determine who gets to go play for the spots at the LCS and the chance to get promoted into there. And it looks like Void Staff has been completed on Karthus, as we do have Sunfire Cape now in Xin Zhao as he starts to build into that Aegis. And it looks like Infinity Edge is next choice for Varus. As he said, I don't need to finish this Blade of the Rune King now. I can come back and finish it later. I just want the extra CC from the Bilgewater Cutlass. Tristana attacking like a monster. She's nearing max attack speed, as she just needs those levels. No, she's maxed out levels. Looks like Xin Zhao's taking a lot of damage from Syndra, but no such kill. She did burn her ultimate there, though he's very low. As it looks like we are going to have One Trick Ponies pushing in the mid, as with all 5. Lee Sin actually stops the back of Xin Zhao, which is going to help, as Xin Zhao is not in a position to fight at the moment. He's at half health, and at half health you really can't engage here. There's just too much damage coming out of Syndra and Tristana to engage. Lee Sin even having some pretty big damage on his side, as he is going to be building that Last Whisper very soon, as there's no other option for him. There's just too much armor coming out of this front line. Shen is actually built into a Blade of the Rune King. I like the decision. He has decent attack speed, and he has decent everything at this point, except magic resistance, but I don't think Syndra is going to be targeting him at any point outside of just the random orbs that fly. And right now, both teams don't want to engage each other. As one bad fight could mean the entire game. Runic Bulwark has been completed by Nasus, and we're going to see Tristana just continue to farm, wanting to get that next item. The question is, will she get it in time for the next fight, or will Varus finish his item before the next fight? And I think that's what we're kind of waiting on, but Baron's going to be up in about a minute, as it looks like we do have a disconnect of some sort. Let me see if we can fix that. Okay, fairly short disconnect, as you do have a big fight coming in the mid lane. As it looks like Shen Ultimate does come out, but they do disengage fairly well on the side of One Trick Ponies. And with Shen Ultimate down, that's a big thing down. Tristana not doing any damage to this front line at the moment. She really needs that next set of items, as they're just stacking armor. And when you stack armor, it's very hard to actually kill someone. Nasus is able to steal blue from Karthus. And with his team behind him and Baron up, this is their opportunity on One Trick Ponies to get the good fight. But I still think they're going to wait for Tristana to pick up that next BF sword item before they engage, as she really needs that extra damage, as she is doing near zero to Shen at this point. Neither side really engaging, as we see the Oracle's Elixirs just continue to clear out the Baron pit for whichever team has the advantage at the moment. Tristana going to go back, and this is now Crs Academy's time to make an engagement if they do, because without Tristana, there is zero damage coming out of One Trick Ponies, with the exception of Syndra, but Syndra's not going to do enough. Syndra's more about weakening everyone so that Xin and Tristana can get in there and finish them off. Both sides rotating around, and it looks like we are going to have Crs Academy now taking control of the Baron pit. Tristana having to back, and she has picked up that Blade of the Ruined King, wanting to kill off those health stacking Shen and Xin Zhao. Syndra not able to actually throw her orb in there, as both sides don't want to engage. They're playing the game of Ring Around the Rosie. Sona has opted to go for the Shirley's Reverie, as Jen hasn't really finished off any items. She did finish off her next tier boots, getting those boots mobility to rotate around the map, but still not picking up that next big item. And we're going to have a bit of a stalemate and another quick pause, but it looks like the pause didn't actually happen. Oh well. And there we go. That was what Janna was waiting for. She picks up a locket herself, so they can use the locket on Nasus fairly deep in the fight, while Tristana will have the locket for later in case Karthus ultimates, as she's going to be very vulnerable to that ultimate, especially once he picks up that Seraph's Embrace. He's going to have a ridiculous amount of ability power, and possibly able to one-shot her, as she does not have a lot of health. Shen down bottom, his ultimate back up, as it looks like we are going to have a bit of engagement here, as Nasus does jump onto Karthus. Xin Zhao is able to jump onto Nasus, and Nasus goes down before the fight begins. Nasus caught out there, as we do see Syndra landing a good slow and able to push everyone back. But that's not good for the side of One Trick Ponies. This is going to be a Baron in favor of Crs Academy, unless they can get a perfect engagement off here, which I'm not sure they're going to be able to. Though a nice stun there by Syndra means that Varus is in a lot of trouble. Nice ultimate there by Janna, saves everyone. Tristana doing a lot of damage to this back line, and Karthus gets blown up. Syndra with a nice Zarni's Hourglass means she's safe for the moment. Karthus ultimate does fly, but that will mean Janna goes down, and Tristana is able to do a whole lot, but Xin Zhao goes down. Or no, not Xin Zhao. Lee Sin in there for a lot of damage. Xin Zhao getting fairly low, but Lee Sin will be able to pick up the kill for triple kill. Shen living off virtually nothing, as Tristana does come across, and a win by One Trick Ponies off the back of Lee Sin jumping in there for a perfect combo. And that was really impressive by Lee Sin. And that means we're going to have a Baron by One Trick Ponies. They were able to get the perfect engagement off. And I don't think Shen's going to be able to steal it. 20 seconds on anyone important for Crs Academy. And without Karthus ultimate, it doesn't matter. They aren't going to be able to get to that fight in time. Shen's going to be able to do some decent damage and possibly steal it, but there's Nasus here, and Tristana will finish it off with a big crit. And with this, we return to square one. Perfectly even gold. towers are in favor of One Trick Ponies, kills in favor of Crs Academy. 41.5 minutes into the game, dead even. It's pretty ridiculous at this point, anyone's game. And it's going to come down to who can get a good engagement off. And I think Xin needs to tank up a little bit, because he's gone pure damage. Even though it worked out well for him last fight. I'm not sure how much it's going to in the future. But we shall see, as Karthus is looking to pick up his own Zhonya's Hourglass before even picking up that Seraph's Embrace. Varus picking up a bit of health so he can actually survive. Tristana going for a bit of magic resistance with that Quicksilver Sash. I like the choice. It'll allow her to build into that Mercury Scimitar, or however it's pronounced. And give her that bit of extra damage and enough magic resistance to deal with Karthus. Shen picking up more armor so that he's virtually unkillable, as he does have the Thorn Mail. Runic Bulwark soon to be completed by Xin Zhao. Nasus picking up a bit more armor and health as he finishes off the Runic Bulwark and Giant's Belt. Dragon going to be taken here by One Trick Ponies, giving them a slight edge. But at this point, gold means nothing except on the supports, where they don't have very much at all, as they spit so much on wards and oracles this game. And it looks like we are going to have One Trick Ponies rotating down bottom. They have grouped up as 5, and I think that's what they want to do. They want to take a 5-man fight. They know some flashes are down. They know a few other summoner spells are down. And this is their opportunity. They have Baron buff. They're just a little bit stronger. Not significantly so, but just a little bit. And Tristana is rocking that damage. She just burns that tower down. She has max attack speed whenever she pops rapid fire. And whew, she is going to deal some damage in this fight to everyone but Shen, who is virtually invulnerable at this point to physical damage. And well, Xin Zhao doesn't take a whole lot either. He's got a lot. You see the ultimate come from Varus. Then you see him jump in. Beautiful ultimate there by Janna means everyone is safe. But Janna's taking fairly low. Karthus actually taken out first. Xin in a lot of trouble as he does get a nice knockback. Nasus goes down, but a big win here for Crs Academy. They get the better engage, only losing Karthus. And Xin, the only surviving member of One Trick Ponies. That was just a beautiful engagement. They weren't able to knock Karthus back enough, and Xin wasn't tanky enough on that front line. One Trick Pony just doesn't have that front line, but Xin doing the smart thing. He says, we're going to likely lose an inhibitor in the mid lane. I'm going to take your inhibitor. I've got enough damage. I can absolutely destroy this thing before we get back there. And if he had a bit more health, he could actually take the top tower as well. It looks like One Trick Ponies are in a lot of trouble, as Crs is going for the win. Shen can take up those turrets all day long. Xin's going to be back there in just enough time to apply some pressure, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to get the kill unless he gets onto Varus. It looks like he is jumping in onto Shen, as Shen does go down, as Xin does jump in there, and Shen will not. It looks like Xin will be able to just rotate around, but both of those towers are dead, and one more bad team fight, and it's all over. Janna going to be rotating up top, will not be able to jump onto Varus, as he just runs away at this point, using his slow to great effect. And right now, with Shen down, this is One Trick Pony's opportunity to rotate down the middle and claim their own inhibitor and possibly Nexus turrets. Shen is going to be really valuable, and he's going to be up in 30 seconds. That's easily enough time, especially with Nasus able to tank out these turrets and Tristana able to just pile on the damage. It is anyone's game at this point. Still, virtually even on gold. 1,000 gold separates the teams. And Tristana doing massive damage as Xin does jump in there. It's able to get onto Varus. Varus ultimate is pop, but Karthus is in a bad position as he's going to be nowhere close. Nasus is taking a lot of damage and is not able to pick up a kill, but Xin is able to pick up Karthus. Janna in a lot of trouble as Karthus ultimate flies, but it is not enough for a kill. And with Karthus down and Varus in trouble, this is going to be a second inhibitor. But no. Playing it safe as Shen respawns is One Trick Ponies. 1-for-1 is the exchange, and the gold 72,500 to 72,500. Teams are perfectly even. 46 minutes into the game. Anyone's game at this point, and it is absolutely ridiculous how close it is. I'm surprised it's this close. These teams are really, really even. And it looks like Varus has opted for the Infinity Edge and Warmongs as his next choice of items. Interesting decision, but he is capped. There is nothing he can build at this point. Tristana almost capped. She just needs to finish off that Quicksilver Sash upgrade. Deathcap finished up on the Syndra. Lee Sin finishing off a Sunfire Cape. Likely to be finishing off a Bloodthirster next. As we have Janna finishing off that Ceruleu's Reverie. Sona about to finish off a Locket. Karthus finishing off that Zani's Hourglass. And just needs a few more gold and he'll be item capped as well. Shen about to be item capped as he's going to finish off a Warmongs is my guess. Next. And which will give him so much health and armor, it's ridiculous. But he is able to be killed. As that last death really hurt him. The only advantage is he will be able to split push and keep this bottom lane where super minions are flowing in fairly pushed. Nasus going for that runic bulwark as we have a bit of a sound bug here. As Zyra is continually getting that Zani's Hourglass sound, but we'll have to deal with it. Not sure exactly how that works, but oh well, I do apologize for it. Nothing we can do about it at this point. And it looks like Varus has sold his Warmongs and it has switched to a Randuin's Omen. Able to just switch around those big items at any point. Baron is up. And we're going to see who decides to actually go for it. Anyone's game at this point. We are in game number 3 of the IPL Summer Promotional Qualifiers for the LCS. And the winner of this game will move on and get the opportunity to play for a chance to enter the LCS. Both sides playing very defensively, as any fight that doesn't go even is basically a win, a game over for your team. So I don't blame these teams for playing ultra passive, even though we are going to see a bit of engagement here, as both teams are just engaging wards near Baron, playing it really conservative. Syndra going to back. Not sure what she's going to pick up. Probably the Void Staff. Both of these inhibitors are going to respawn in just a moment. And with that, we'll go back to dead even. And there's the Void Staff on Syndra. And we have a pause. 49 minutes into the game. Really late to be having a pause, but we shall see what's up. Looks like we are back into the game. Relatively quick pause. Glad it was quick, because this game is really close to the finishing, and it looks like we aren't actually going to get the screen, but we get the audio. As it looks like Janna has disconnected and has reconnected. Okay. Both teams are pursuing Baron at this point. Lots of wards placed around it, but neither team able to do a whole lot, as super minions have basically faded at this point. It looks like we are going to have One Trick Ponies pushing for the base and trying to get that open inhibitor in the middle and bottom lane. All outer turrets have been taken, and with that push, this means that they'll be able to see the entire Crs team. Ceruleu's Reverie popped, and it looks like we are going to see a very quick Baron. It's going down incredibly quick. Will they actually get it before Crs gets here? And it looks like no such luck, but Janna able to use her tornado to actually save it for just a little bit. It is nubbypoohbear going down first, Syndra down, and this is not looking good for One Trick Ponies. They really needed to get those kills before the fight started. And with 3 down and no one alive for One Trick Ponies. Ooh, Nasus barely living. It was just Xin Zhao down. This is going to be CRS Academy's opportunity to make that death push. Tristana is going to get back there. but I'm not sure she has enough to deal with everyone, especially with that open Nexus as soon as the inhibitor falls, and there's no saving this inhibitor. Tristana is going to get a little bit of damage out here first, and she will be able to take down Karthus. But no, she's not. She's forced to flash away before he actually goes down. Varus taking a lot of damage, as Tristana is just doing her best to stay alive. Nasus getting a good wither off here on the Varus, as you do see Shen jumping out on Tristana. Tristana very low, but she is still alive, but she is not able to protect the Nexus. Nexus getting very low. Nasus jumping it on to Karthus, but this will be Nexus down. Crs Academy taking it off the back of a little bit of a misplay by One Trick Ponies. Excellent game. Absolutely brilliant. And it could have gone the other way with just a slight misstep on Crs Academy, but they do take the game and the series. Really wonderful game by Crs Academy. One Trick Ponies played excellent as well. They had their opportunities. They just made one mistake at the end. That was it.
Thank you for watching Games Cast by PanderNyrl. If you wish to see more, follow my YouTube and Twitch pages below.